Our next guest is Eddie Muliaumaseali'I, and he's a gentleman who's going to be co-starring in a production called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Now, Eddie is a great singer, an opera singer. He's been around in many productions over the time, picking up awards as he's gone on. And to convert over to a straight play is something quite different. And I thought we'd catch up with Eddie today to find out how this all came about. Eddie, nice to have you on Casey Radio.
I'm very happy to be here, Leigh.
Eddie, a beautiful voice. I've heard you sing, and I love your voice.
Thank you. It's been a great journey. 30 years of doing opera and the odd musical. But yeah, you're right. This is the first actual play that I've ever done.
So how different is this going to be for you from singing classical music to coming and acting pretty much a straight play?
Well, I was just talking to the director and some of the actors the other day. It's a huge jump out of the comfort zone. With opera, when you're acting a role, when you're singing a role in an opera, everything's done. Well, a lot of the work is done for you. So generally, because I'm a bass, I'm playing a bad guy. So even before I've opened my mouth, like for instance, in Don Giovanni, the ghost who comes on at the end, you hear this wonderful foreboding music coming, bam, 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 and then I open my mouth and sing. So everybody knows, here comes the ghost, here comes the ghost. And then the ghost goes, Don Giovanni. But in a play, you have to create everything out of thin air. Absolutely, you have to create the atmosphere, all the subtext, pathos, a lot, completely out of thin air. I mean, it is hard. There's so many different things to do in opera singing and in music theatre as well. But, you've got a great overture to kick things off. In this play, I actually am the first person who speaks in the play.
Well, you play Chief, don't you?
I play the Chief. So in the film that was famous in the 70s, the Chief doesn't say much at all. But in this, in the play version, he's semi-narrator. So he comments on situations, and then scenes happen, and then he comments on what's just happened and what's about to happen, etc., until he's immersed into the play himself. So, yeah, it's a big jump.
It originally opened in Broadway in 1963. Then I went to film, I think, as you said, 1975. And I was reading yesterday that it's been described around the world as scarifying and powerful. The New York Daily News said it's funny, it's touching, it's exciting. Is it really funny?
Yes, there are very funny moments in the play, but it's because of the subject matter and where it's set. It's kind of funny, ha. Then all of a sudden you're thinking, should I be laughing at that?
Yeah.
But I think it's well written in that respect that there are certain situations that happen in conversations that in sort of normal everyday life you wouldn't find it funny at all. But because of the way the play is structured, there are very funny moments in it. In an asylum.
Yes, exactly right. Well, Nicholson was the guy who started this, wasn't he, in the film?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
This is quite a departure, I said before, for you. I'm looking at some of the notes I've got here, but you've played Joe in Showboat. Now, that would have really suited your voice beautifully, but then you come across in this live thing again. You've got Kiss Me Kate, the full Monty. I mean, to say, fancy being in the full Monty. I can just see it, this deep voice Monty.
The full Monty was, again, the thing about that is, with Showboat and the full Monty, I did Showboat where I did it in German as well as in English.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. So there is spoken word in that, but they remember me for the way I sang. So that's a great comfort zone because that's something I can relate to. So being asked to do this play is an absolute, it's an honour, and also to be amongst actors. I mean, it's a big cast. There's 15 in all. It's a lot of people.
It is indeed. What about rehearsal time? Are you right into rehearsals now?
Yes, no, I was actually overseas for the first 4 weeks of rehearsal. So this is the end of my second week of rehearsal.
Right.
And we open in about a week and a half. So the rehearsals have been really intense. So I came in and they pretty much blocked a lot of the actual show where they were just waiting for me to arrive. And the rehearsal periods are... it's a completely different fish for me, I have to say, Leigh. And for me, after being in the theatre opera world for so long, it's kind of different being sort of new kid on the block again.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I sit there every day and I just take in everything that I can and hope I'm doing a good job.
Well, when you won that McDonald's ARIA Award in Sydney some years ago, did you ever think that your career was going to go like this?
No, not at all. I was actually quite surprised when my agent called up and said, do you think about doing a play? And I went, okay. I said, I'll jump at it and I'll give it a go. But no, never thought I'd be doing a play, especially in the Lawler Theatre, which is part of the MTC. So Monster Media getting into that arena. It's, you know, for Melbourne, it's probably the top place you can do a play.
It's a beautiful theatre.
You know, it's quite a big deal, and for the actors that are involved and everything. No, I don't think once I won the McDonald's ARIA, I would ever be doing a play. But, you know, here I am giving it a go, so here we go.
Yep. And what's next for you after One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Well, at the moment, I'm learning three different, two operas and a tribute to Monash. So there's a written by David Cram. It's going to be an opera on the story of Monash, and that's going to be at Hamer Hall. I'm doing Lohengrin which is the big Wagner opera for Melbourne Opera, and then another opera for Melbourne Opera later on in the year. So at present, I should be learning all of that, but I've put everything on hold to do the play. I've actually said to my conductor and to the music coaches, you guys have to wait till this play's over because it's taking everything that I've got.
It's pretty much full on, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Look, I'm looking forward to seeing you on opening night. We'll be there, Eddie, and we'll have a look at this. And, well, I'm not going to miss you. I'm going to hear the voice. So I know exactly who I was talking to.
Well, do come up and say hello.
Oh, most certainly, Eddie.
Thank you so much for the time as well.
Thank you for your time today, too. Okay, bye-bye to you. Very busy man, but kind enough to give us his time today to talk about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.